I've been a hospice nurse for over 15 years, long enough to understand that the final days of a person's life are unlike any other time. People soften. Some hold on longer than expected, some let go before you're ready. But there's always a quiet shift, an invisible turning of the tide, and sometimes it's not the machines or the monitors that tell you it's coming. Sometimes it's the cat. We called her Mabel, medium-sized Calico, with this slow, calm way about her, like she'd seen it all and didn't need to be impressed by anything anymore. She didn't belong to anyone, really. She just showed up one rainy Tuesday, curled up in a laundry basket by the nurse's station, and never left. We tried at first to coax her away, worried about allergies, hygiene, but the patients loved her, and Mabel wasn't the playful sort. She never got in beds uninvited, never scratched, never made a mess. She just sat, slept, watched, like she knew exactly what this place was and why she was there. We started noticing the pattern maybe 6 months in. It wasn't anything official, just quiet conversations between shifts, side glances in the break room. You noticed she was in room 204 last night. Yeah, and Mrs. Lane passed this morning. It happened again, and again. Not every time, but often enough to stop chalking it up to coincidence. You'd see Mabel leave her basket and trot slowly down the hallway, pause at a door, push it open with her head if it was cracked. She'd jump on the bed, settle in at the foot, and go to sleep. When she did that, we called the family. I remember the first time I really saw it happen. It was with a man named Walter, 87, Parkinson's, and early dementia. He didn't have much family, just a nephew who lived 2 towns over. Walter had good days and bad. That morning he'd seemed brighter than usual, ate most of his eggs, even made a joke about my awful handwriting on the chart. We were hopeful he might last the week. Around lunchtime, I saw Mabel stand up in her basket, stretch, shake. She walked slow, deliberate, right down to Walter's room. I followed behind her, something tight, settling in my chest. She hopped onto his bed, without hesitation, curled up right at his feet. He didn't react, didn't even seem to notice. I called his nephew. Walter died just after 2 a.m. From then on I didn't question it. When Mabel picked a room, we treated it as a sign. I'd prepare the family, sit with them, answer questions they weren't ready to ask. It gave them time. Time to say what they needed to say. Time to be present. It gave me time too. You don't forget the look on someone's face when they realize this is it. When a daughter's holding her mother's hand for the last time, whispering things they never had the courage to say when she was healthy. When a husband lays his forehead on his wife's and tells her it's okay to let go. And all the while Mabel would lie still, eyes half closed, breathing soft, like she was absorbing all that grief, all that love, carrying it gently on our behalf. There was one day, a young woman, barely 40, terminal ovarian cancer. Her name was Lydia. She had 3 little kids. We all struggled with that one, still do. She was one of those people who lit up a room even when she couldn't stand up anymore. That afternoon, Mabel made her way to Lydia's room. We called her husband. He was already on his way. When he got there, he climbed right into the bed beside Lydia, just held her, cried, told her about the kids' school play, about how her oldest had started cooking dinner for his siblings, how the youngest still wore her scarf every day, saying it smelled like mommy. Mabel sat at the foot of the bed, not moving. Lydia passed that evening, peacefully, quietly, and I remember thinking, maybe it's not that the cat knows when death is near. Maybe she just shows up when love needs to settle in. Maybe she gives us permission to pause, to listen, to soften.